AI and the robots are taking over, or are they? It might not be a sci-fi nightmare after all. Leila Delarive from Amplify and the Empowerment Foundation, thank you very much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here. How are you?
Very good. Fine, thank you.
Wonderful. I'm really interested. Let's talk more about your foundation, the Empowerment Foundation. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what you do at the foundation?
Yeah, so I set up this foundation 1 year ago, and the goal of this foundation is really to bring human in the center of all this discussion around technology. We live in a technology-driven world, and we need to focus on the humans, and technology should be serving humans and not enslaving humans. So that's the purpose, the mission of the foundation.
Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing education is a big part of what the foundation does. What sort of things are you able to do? What kind of events have you done, sort of different things to educate people in?
We're trying to spread knowledge, and the idea is really to build a bridge between the scientific world and a larger audience. So we talk with scientists, and we try to understand how the technology could work. Because if we want to understand and decide how and what, we need to understand how the technology works. So first, there's always a tech specification and scientists explaining how AI works, and then what are the impacts of this technology? So we did the Empowerment Summit on AI, and we had Yann Lequin, who is really the father of deep learning, machine learning, and he explained how machine learning is really reshaping the way AI is functioning. Mm-hmm. And then we had a panel with all the people involved into human rights defense, and also people from Google and IBM, because you know that there was a big issue about Google using their technology, maybe for the army, all the AI studies that they've done, research could be used by the army. And then the Google's employees stood up and said, no, we don't accept that you are using our work for maybe purposes that could harm humans. And so we had this discussion with people from Human Rights Watch, people from different NGOs, and the idea, what came out is really that AI could be a super powerful tool to prevent human rights violations. But today, unfortunately, NGOs don't really have the financial support or means, and that's not their priority. But if they could shift and use AI as a force, it could be super powerful to prevent all these human rights crises.
Yeah, it seems, especially with AI in the general public view, it seems like quite a scary thing that you see, like trying to educate people on the benefits of it as well. How can you bring it to a much wider audience and really explain what it is and some positive uses as well?
Yeah, so then after the summit, where, as I said, we discussed about education, human rights, and economy, we have produced a play on AI. In French, it's called Le Robot qui m'aimait, so the robot who loved me. And it's the story of a young man aged 30 who cannot find love in real life, so he decides to buy this new generation of love robot that he can program online and decide which feature and to be the perfect wife. So he falls in love with this robot, but the robot cannot fall in love. The robot can only work on the machine learning mode. And the problem with the robot that was meant to be super high, efficient, super powerful, super whatever you think perfect can mean, the robot thinks, but I cannot learn from this guy. So there's a bug somewhere. And the robot decides to kill the guy who ordered her. And then it's the trial of this robot. And it's a real trial with a real judge, real lawyers, real experts. And at the end, it's the audience that votes on whether the robot is guilty or not. And what was interesting is that the audience voted that it was not the robot that was guilty, but that was the company who produced the robot. So that shows that people are expecting from companies a higher level of liability and also social responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And is there plans for this play to travel and
yeah, we were surprised because this was an experiment. I wrote myself the play. I'm not I'm not someone from the theater world, but it was really a surprise how the public really liked the concept. So now we're going to produce it in France and even in San Francisco because we think that the concept can travel worldwide.